Shalom. I'd like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone, of whom I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful members of the elect. This is part 2. This is about the Caribs, the Tainos, the so-called West Indies, right? The so-called West Indians, right? Which just means Western savage, okay? And when you watch the movie with what's his name, Mel Gibson, about he directed that movie called Apocalypto, and that's what our people were doing over here in the Americas, because a lot of our people, there's some of us, there's there were some of our people who was keeping, like the old way, or the, like the righteous way, by keeping the laws. But a lot of our people went into the idolatry and savagery, and these are the same people back in their stead, and they're doing all kinds of things. You know what I mean? They're digging up, they're doing all kinds of shit, and it's real. And this is this is off the book, the origin of the American racism, Lost Tribe and Promised Land, written by Ronald Sanders. All right, which he's a so-called white man. All right, he's an editor and a writer, and he this is documented of our history, of the Israelites, of being descendants of the lost tribes of Israel, right? And that's why this whole book is talking about. I bought this book, I think, probably for like 30-40 bucks, probably 2010, 2009. I bought that book, but there's a lot of information, so I just been like I have a lot of we have a lot of books, especially within our camp, with Iwaso, Chris, Slack with Yaswa, Jeremiah and stuff. We have a lot of books, that we did, and we have a lot of content that we uploaded and shared on the internet. Some of that content still there. History of Yaikwab, of history GMS, history of Yaikwab, GMS, Yasha Allah Banyamin, Yasha, I think Banyamin, I think Baby Benjamin. Like there's a whole bunch of channels that we had. Some of our, they flagged a whole bunch of our shit, man. Even when from 2009, they flagged a lot of our content. They flagged us, man, and they're still flagging. So yeah. So now this book now is $196 right here. It's $50 here. So certain of this information right now is it's gonna be more scarce, It's gonna be more scarce, but back on to the lesson. All right, this is page. This is off this one. I bought this one from 2009. This one right here. This one, and this is page 100. The Black Devils. All right. So when Christopher Colon, when he came to the Americas, he already knew who the tribes were. All right. When you watch that movie 1492, that movie, I think that movie came out in probably in the 90s or early 2000. Cause I think Jeremiah, he sent me that He sent me. I still have that. I still have that movie here. I have a whole bunch of those DVDs here and stuff. Like 1492. All right, and and that movie was like, oh, Esdras, right? He's talking about Esdras, where basically like he was talking about Esdras, and he was reading the Apocrypha, where he was basically talking about the tribes who will be scattered like through the earth, right? In second Esdras 13. All right, let me get that quick, and then we're gonna go talk about the Caribs, or the Caribbeans, whatever. Second Esdras 13, verse I think is 40. Yeah. Here it is. It says second Esdras 13 and 40. These were the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king. Alright? Who Salmanazar, king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them away over the waters, and so they came into another land, right? So basically, during the Assyrian captivity, basically when the kingdom of the house of David, and then when when David died, King Solomon, when he rose to power, right, and he was in power for 40 days, or like for 40 years, okay, and but when Solomon, when he was a little bit got old, he got older in age, and his heart turned from the Heavenly Father. All right, so basically, his, like the kingdom was rent. All right, there was I forgot, I have to go back into the account, but there was a prophet who basically he rent the kingdom, right, and he rented like the 10. Right, he rented like I think like the like a cloth or the garment or whatever, and he rented it into 10 parts or whatever, and basically, um, you know, basically after King Solomon died, there was there was the son, like there was the southern kingdom, which was Judah or whatever, and then it was split. The kingdom of Israel was split, and it's split right now, because that's why in Amos 9 and 8, whatever, like, everything gonna come back in its right stead, you know what I mean? But yeah, so back to second Esdras 13 and 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, who Salmanazar the king of Assyria led away captive. He carried them over the waters, and so come they into another land. Right, so basically, when the northern tribes, right, because that basically 722 BC or whatever, basically is when like they like that kingdom, the Assyria fell, the Assyrian kingdom fell or whatever, and then basically, like they came to the new world, you know what I mean? All right, and but they took their counsels against themselves, right? Because remember, like they were stripped, you know what I mean? Like they were, because they were in the land or whatever, and they were doing all kinds of wickedness and stuff, whatever. So the Most High got fed up, right? And and he sent our people away, on that, into captivity, because we disobeyed the Heavenly Father, right? So yeah, 722 BC is when the Syrian Empire fell or whatever, and then our people were freed. So they took this counsel, or see, I'm gonna read it, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go for into a further country where there never mankind dwelt. All right, so that's here in the Americas, right? Because prior, when the King Solomon, when he was king or whatever, he was he was with Haram Abif, right? Which they say Haram Abif, he's like they say, I think he's of the tribe of Naphtali or whatever. But but there were some Hamites there, all right, because because they're the ones who who would get the wood or whatever in Tyre, Zidon, which would be like Lebanon, in that region. Basically, they were like seafaring men, and they would go and basically like they'll go on a voyage, basically for like basically 1 year, or like 1.5 years, right? Because basically like they would go around the Persian Gulf or whatever, and they would go whatever, and they would go to like into the Americas, right? So South America, like the Caribbean, what I mean, like Central America to the Americas, you know what I mean, and get a lot of precious resources, minerals, land. No, not land, but but resources, land, minerals, and things of tangible substance, and then going back to so basically after they get everything that they got, everything that basically obtain everything, whatever, through from the Americas, basically like the Phoenician kings or whatever, they would go through basically they would end up going back into the land of Israel, but it would take a year and a half to go back into the land, right? So, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Right. So that would be through the Americas. All right. All right. Because I'm reading. I'm telling you the account where like King Solomon, he sent out basically like privateers, who would go, and because basically after King David died, King David, he already had all these different nations under rule, man. Like the Lord, you know what I mean? Through these Edomites were in subjection. All right, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Syrians, whatever, the Hamite, them, yeah, they were all, the Elamites, the Cushites, everybody was in subjection, So when King Solomon came, whatever, like that's why his name is Solomon, which means peace. All right, and it's gonna go right. It's gonna go back into that because the Lord's coming, and He's gonna, because it's because like when the Lord comes, it's gonna be His dominion. All right, Psalms 1, right, or Psalms 2. So why the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The people The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against the anointed. As for me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance. Right? So the father is gonna give the son his inheritance. Alright? And we're at the end, man. Alright? But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into another country where never mankind dwelt, that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. Right? And that's what our people were supposed to do. All right, but our people backslide. Certain tribes certain tribes of them, certain of them, did keep the law because there's prophets, right, in the northern kingdom who came to the Americas who did keep the law, and just that we end up all falling off. You know what I mean? But there's always been prophets, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. All right, so it's the Euphrates River and goes back down. All right, through through the east side of Africa. So that'd be like Tanzania, Ethiopia. Like they probably had some, like couple pits. I'm sure that they had a whole bunch of pit stops. You know what I mean? And they would just go back on their journey. Until they came to the Americas. All right, you could keep reading it. It's very strenuous. Let me continue in this. So this is the book, the origin of the American racism, the lost tribes and the promised lands, written by Ronald Sanders. All right, this is page 100. It's called chapter 9, the Black Devils. Right? So why they would call us the Black Devils, right? Because basically basically in the mid 1300s is when a lot of our people died of the Black Plague and stuff, and like a lot of our people had to flee and basically leave the Iberian Peninsula or wherever, and some of our people stayed in certain parts of Europe, whether it's Holland, England, France. Some of them came to the Americas. Right? But let me keep on reading. So the Black Devils. So they call us the Black Devils, but it should be the reverse, right? Because Esau is the real devil, the red devil. All right, this is page 100, which means by this time. I just started at says Columbus must have been especially like relieved to have found gentle, well-formed Indos living near the equator. It said because I think Hindus, they say it means like noble or whatever, if you really go into it, whatever. But let's keep on going. But because his first encounter to the southern, it says his first encounter to the southern, or sorry, the southward, said it's like the southward of the island, explored in his first voyage, had been with men of a very different sort, right? So basically, like when they came to, or when like when Columbus came to the Americas, right? He knew who the tribes were, right? And I'm gonna keep on reading. It says this has occurred in very first landfalls of his second voyage to the New World in the autumn of 1493. By this time, of course, he had been thoroughly prepared for a meeting of a warlike multitude of the Indies, not only by Esdras, right? So, which is Esdras, right? Like, which is talking to the book of Esdras, and by the Indies he met on his first voyage. All right. So you have this book. If you don't have it, I think if there's a PDF or whatever, or you could buy it on there. You could buy it used, probably even for a better price. But this is page 101. I highlighted this. Page 101. It says, Slovakia. It says the Caribs. Slovakia. Let me get some water. Slovakia. Yeah, it says the Caribs use them with cruelty that seems incredible. Alright, but this is pretty much the point I want to highlight. I highlighted this. It says they saw that human flesh is so good, there is nothing like it in the world, and this seems so and this seems so and this seems so because they said the bones were found in their homes had been so not at that nothing remained of them but the part. Alright, so our people is doing that right now, right? Or like Jamaica and stuff. Our people is doing this shit, whatever. Like, that's why that island's so bad. You know what I mean? But the prophets are there, all right, who's warning our people through Portland, Kingston, and like any because right now the prophets are being awakened, but I'm just targeting on my tribe, all right, because these same Caribbean people, all right, where they're doing these Caribbean festivals through the Greater Toronto area, and they're doing this stuff, and basically like, that's why a lot of judgment is coming upon our people, at these events. I went to an event, 2019. I got hurt, you know what I mean, and I thank God that I thank Yahweh Shai that he had mercy upon me and redeemed me. Alright, because I could have almost lost my life. Alright, but there's another festival, I think a month or two ago, over in North York or whatever, and the same shit almost happened, you know what I mean? So yeah, so it's like, yeah, man. So right now, right now is judgment time, man. And let me get a scripture. All right, because the Lord's he's sending his angels, man. You see, like, there's been so much death, man. There was here in the GTA, there was three members who were hurt in a car accident, who were killed, all right, basically in like a collision. And the crazy thing, what I noticed, that the news basically, like, their name was like, one of their name was Pharaoh, right, male, right, like they're all brother and sister. So let me get some water. Yeah, like they're all, yeah, Slovakia. Yeah, so basically, like they died in car accident, I think late at night, and the car caught on fire. that caught ablaze. And her name was like on that one, the name was Pharaoh. All right, he was like, I think 16. The other one's Judah. The other one, I think, like Tizna, like they all had Hebrew type names. You know what I mean? Judah. All right, because when you read Genesis 49, it said that Judah, is 49. Is a lawgiver. All right, but I think they're West Indian. So they're Caribbean. I think they're Jamaican. All right, and they died unfortunately, man. And I think there were 6 people. I just seen on the news a couple hours ago up in Barrie up north, right? 6 people dead. All right, so this is not a time right now. This is the time when the Lord, He's gonna be doing a lot more brutal types of death. People are dying of the mad dog. Of these different pestilence. So right now it's not a time to be, like people don't know. All right, so Ecclesiastes 9, Ezekiel 9:4, and the Lord said unto me, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abomination that be done in the midst of the earth. So we're crying, man. We're crying, but the Lord, He's sending a mark, right? So Yahweh Shai and the angels are sending a mark upon His elect, right? Who's gonna seal us every day, and basically who's gonna protect us, right? As the elect, all right, which I hope to be, all right, because I'm not making I'm not making myself to be. I'm just trying to do what I could do, because I'm a sinner. We're all sinner, but I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But I'm perfect in the Lord. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. All right, and to the others, right? So this is, let me read this again. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, right? So so when you read about Jerusalem, like it's a people before it's a place. When you talk about Zion means monument, right? So, that Zion, is referring to our people, right? The 12 tribes. I set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in the mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare nor have pity. So the Lord, He's bringing like there's been so many deaths, bro, like for the past 3 years, man. From 2019, from this whole Raptors parade till now, man. These rappers, a whole bunch of these rappers getting killed, people getting judged, all kinds of things, man. Like the Lord's not thing. Let me get another thing, and then because the Lord's not playing, bro. All right, so Isaiah 45:6, that it's like Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, have created these things, right? So the Lord's is always in control, man. All right. Like there's nothing by coincidence, man. Everything is already preordained, man. All right. Let me continue with the lesson. So okay. Page 101. About after page 101, as far as Columbus was concerned, these people, along with any other native who made war against the Spaniards and were taken captive, were eligible to be sold into slavery. So because basically that Columbus, he came with, he came with our people, like a, like a couple of our people were like the Moors or the interpreters, all right, and and also like a whole bunch of these damn devils came or whatever, and they started a slave trade. So a lot of our people were sold into slavery, prior, even prior to our people were sold into slavery. So like basically there's a transatlantic slave trade, from 1492, of the northern tribe, and eventually the southern tribe, which would be the house or the kingdom of Judah. All right, so we fell. So this is page 101, and were taken captive, were eligible to be sold into slavery, and treated he did not consider prosper to no Slakia, a treatment he did not consider proper for peaceable island, even though many of his shipmasters and fellow countrymen saw the matter directly. And Slakia, Slakia, says this was what he wrote in the January 1494 to a rep, to a representative of a king and a queen, right, which is be King Ferdinand and whatever, right, of Portugal, right, and subject of a Slakia. This is what he wrote in January 1494 to a representative of the king and queen on the subject of the man-eating Caribs, who he was now that beginning to call cannibal in a significant thing, right? So yeah, so that's what our people's been doing for many years, right? This is page 101, right? It says some other Columbus men had heard that the Indies use the term Carib for main. It says for the main island of man eaters, right? So that's what our people were doing, man, on that fucking land of Jamaica, the Caribbean. That we all fell, and our people are still doing it. I was watching a video, I think in what do you call it? You call that place in Africa, Western Africa, I think Liberia or whatever, right? Certain parts, I seen that video like years ago, man. They're eating, human flesh. Yeah, that's what our people are fucking savage, man. Slakia. Hold on, baby. Slakia, Jim. Where's the thing? I don't think. But yeah, man. And all that. That's what our people is doing. And all that. That's why the Lord said the whole head sick. Alright. Mad sick, head no good, right? And all that. But that's what elephant man, that guy. Yeah, the whole head sick. Alright, so the Lord's gonna judge our people, man. Alright, so on head. Slakia, me. Slakia. Blow my nose. Slakia. we're tired of this place, man. This place needs to go, bro, cause there's chemtrail, all kind of shit, man, that they're doing, man. You know? Yeah. Sorry. Sorry that Isaiah 1:1. The vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the day of Uzziah, Jotham, Amma, Ezekiel, kings of Judah, right? So you see that little boy who died in that car crash, his name was Judah. You know? So they're of the household of Judah, I'm sure, right? Whether they're but they're Israelites. It says, but they're in the spiritual world now, and the Lord's gonna, like they're gonna come back in the kingdom. It says, "Hear, O heaven, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children. They have rebelled against me." All right, so basically, we rebelled against the Heavenly Father by not keeping His commandments, right? His precepts and His law. All right, so we committed treason against the Heavenly Father, right? So right now we're paying for our treason as a result, for not worshiping what is already written. All right, because from when basically when the serpent when he beguiled Eve, Adam, he basically he followed the woman, whatever. So as a result, we fell. But we had to experience the tree of good and evil. So we are experiencing the tree of good and evil, but but we're gonna get this, like the tree of life, like when the Lord comes, and when we're gonna get these new bodies. I think that would be in a height, Hebrews 7, I think Jeremiah 31, where the law is gonna be in us. All right, so we're not gonna be in this. We're not gonna have this, basically, we're not gonna have the stony heart anymore, and we're gonna be perfect. We're gonna be as gods. We're gonna be Superman, man. We're gonna be Hancocks. We're gonna be, Luke Cage. All those stuff on Netflix. All that stuff. Like the Boys season. Yeah, if you watch a movie like the Boys seasons and stuff like, which fire coming from your eye, that's gonna be coming very soon, man. All right, which I hope to get that, because it's gonna get serious, Lord's will, because it's gonna get serious, man, and it's gonna, we don't have no, basically, the only hope that we have is through Yahushai and Yahweh, the Father and the Son, and there's no hope. Said the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. So even a donkey, even an ass, all right, even a donkey, right? The dumbest animal, but they know who their master is. All right, so our people were stiff-necked, man. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. So even we go on the highways and byways, and we tell people, yeah, you're Israelite, or you might have some family members or your certain co-workers, and say, yeah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite and stuff. They're like, yeah, Hebrew Israelite, what? What? I'm an African, man, or I'm a what do you call them? I'm a, what do you call it? I'm a Rastafarian or whatever. I'm Buddhist. I'm I'm Hotep. All these black black conscious bullshit, you know. It's just like fuck, man. Our people are a lot. You know, our people like the Islam is the heaviest demon, man. You know, like the damn Muslim shit. You know, like that's the heaviest demon, man. You know, so the Lord's tired of this shit of our people doing that stuff, man. So they have it says they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Why should he be stricken anymore? He will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the and the and the whole heart faint. Right. So yeah, and it says yeah. So we're sick, right, in our body, and from the head to the from the head to your toe, we're sick, man. We have all kind of different ailments, man. You know, I was looking up the word. I think limp, limp, limp. You put etymology, yeah. The apostles too, you know, like they always emphasize things to you know, like the apostle always emphasized us, you know, to do our research and look up words too. So limp, which means the etymology, old Middle English, limp, lamb, or which means limp, fall short, right? So we fell short. All right, let me put on an Adam. Limp, verb, move with a halting jerk step. You know, like they have that dance. You're a jerk. I think that was like that was probably I think like probably 2000 there like probably like 2000 and like 6 2007 there's a song called yeah it's called I think it's called like you're a jerk or whatever and shit like you know. So yeah, our people are jerking, man, because they don't know who the hell they are. We're sick in our mind, we're plagued, like we're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, you know, you know, that curse of Deuteronomy 28, basically 16 and 68, you know, if we, of things that would of like things that would happen to us as a nation if we disrespected, if we disrespected the Most High, and we're living in it, man. So this is our nightmare, right? But but when the Lord comes and stuff, He's gonna, He's gonna save His elect, all right, and they're gonna eat, on that they're gonna eat the first fruits, all right, of the tree of life, man. All right, we're gonna be just like the Lord, says perhaps Salakia move with a halting, a jerk, limp, to fall short, right? So we fall short, man, every day, man. Like this, like we're always at like we're always in like we're always in cohete, on like with the spirit and the flesh. It's a constant war. All right. Let me see if I have any more. Yeah. So yeah, page 102. Yeah, this said the Caribs, man eaters, right? So that's what our people have become, right? But now, you know what I mean? Now, the Most High is raising us up, man. All right, you have tribes, or like you have camps all throughout the earth, man. All right, prophecy, man. The dry bones, Ezekiel 37, right? That's being risen up. I think is it Zephaniah 1? think I shall give thee fame in the land where thou art put to shame. Alright, because right now we're being humiliated every day, man. You know? You might eat like you might not like you might have to go to work or something, like you don't have even like any money to even to even go on the bus or even put gas in your car or whatever, man. Our people, you have our people homeless on the street, man. So like our people are dying every day, by gun violence, by from these pharmaceutical drugs, from these fast food, from these grocery store, these pesticides that they have in our food, from the air that we breathe, man. We're in hell. Zephaniah 3 and 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth thee, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they were put to shame. So yeah, even right now, you see us going on the highways and byways every Saturday. It's not for no comedy or whatever. It like this is our humiliation. All right, because it's saying in the scripture, it says before honor. It said before honor. It said before honor cometh It said before honor cometh humility. So we have to go through the humility stage and be counted as fools. All right, I think that's a thing where Paul said that. All right, we are fools for the Lord's sake. We are fools for Yahweh Shai's sake, basically, or for Yahweh Shai. We are fools for Yahweh Shai's sake. It's a constant repetition. We're always going to different articles, certain things, and we're always edifying and feeding the flock, because that's what it's about. All right, because if we do this now, like we're gonna inherit eternal wealth, blessings. Right now, like you might live in a one room, like you might live in a studio apartment, like what I mean, like it's like this shit's real, man. Like like some people have to sleep in their car, like some people they don't even have a car or bed to sleep. People have to sleep on this, like right now, what's gonna happen, in 2023, 2024, it's gonna get real, man. Things are gonna get way more intense, man. All right, so it's not a time to get comfortable or whatever, because your comfort is gonna get very like you don't see. I think there was another thing in Brampton. I think there was 13 people. I think a couple people were killed and 13 people were injured. I think there was like 3 or 2 people dead, and the rest of them were injured or whatever. So it's like 13 people, bro. There's a whole bunch of judgments, man. So it's like this. So right now, that we have to lock into the spirit and pray, bro, because it's getting sticky, man. It's getting like right now, the Most High is bringing he's bringing that Allah Shadia type judgment, man. He's bringing that divine judgment, bro. He's bringing out the death angel. He's bringing out the death angels, man. This is Joshua 1. What's it, Joshua? I'm looking for Joshua. Alright? Because right now because the blowing the trumpet is just finished, right? Where the September 4th is gonna be our Day of Atonement. Alright? The Day of Atonement sundown, which would be I think on the Sunday. So on this like Sunday evening, or whatever you're supposed to do. You know, it's only for serious mind member, you know, of the elect, right? If you're learning still, you don't really have to, you know, like you don't have to participate if you know, but if you want to think, whatever, if you want to, you know, but it's only for the serious minded members of the elect, you know, because you know, a lot of our people are still learning, right? And and like I'm being nourished, right? But right now, this is not a time for us to get weak, you know. Joshua, the high priest, you know, he's here, whoever he is, you know, and that's it. It said Joshua 1:6, be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people thou shalt divide the inheritance from the. It says, thou shalt thou shalt be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whatsoever thou goest. So, and like that's the meditation, right? Is to basically, you know, like we're gonna slip and slide, you know, but the, you know, it's the, you know, a righteous man follow. It says a righteous man falls 7 times and getteth up, right? You know, which was a proverb of Solomon, right? Or Ecclesiastes, or, you know, a Proverbs of Solomon, you know. So right now, so it's like when we fall or whatever, we might have our shortcomings and stuff, but you know, like we have to fight, you know, like we have to fight the good fight of faith, right? Like what Paul says, the books of the law shall not like depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to the law that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, right? So even right now, right, well, what we're doing right now, I'm gonna upload this video, and you know, and you know, and like, and we want it, you know, like we want the word to get out there, you know, to feed the sheep, and from you from the certain people, like within our camp, GMS Toronto, all of us, like we have to get more on fire. And you know, certain guys, and too, like if you're able, start making videos or whatever, edifying, you know, and you know, to build up your faith, right? Because you know, I'm building up my faith. I'm building, you know what I mean? So everyone has to build up their own faith, you know, and because it's, you know, you might come to the camp or whatever, but it doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? Like you're coming to the camp or whatever, but you're doing other shit, you know, or you're not really taking it serious, right? Right now, this is not a time to even. Right now, this is a serious time. This is not a time to no joke. You know what I mean? Cause you know, it's getting way more intense, man. You know. It says like, yeah. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, then thou shalt have good success. Yeah, so when the Lord comes and gives us our inheritance, all right, which I hope to be, all right, you know, and the hopeful members of the elect, basically, you know, that that we're good. We're gonna have land. We're gonna have a whole bunch of children. We're gonna have that we're gonna be sovereign. You know what I mean? And we're gonna, we're gonna be doing a lot of work. You know, like, or like we're gonna be telling, these damn heathen, like what to do, You know, like we're gonna take all everything what they have, you know, like we're gonna take them. We're taking that. You know, so when the Lord comes, he's gonna take all the damn crowns of these heathen, man, and their kings, man. So alright, it says, have I not commanded thee, be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy power is with thee whatsoever thou goest. And that's what it is, bro. So we have to be like Joshua, Moses, our ancestor, man, King David. You know, this is what it's all about, man. It's about, man. It's about the house of David, bro. So it's all about. So with that, I have to say, I'll praise the due to Yahweh, Bashim Ashai, the ones, the apostles of Great Millstone, of whom I learned this truth. My name's Arawak. Yeah, I have this channel here, GMS Yasha Allah Banyamin. But I have another channel that I wanna get more subscribers, because I don't really use this channel as much. But I want to. I have my other channel called GMS Wisdom and Meekness. So you guys could subscribe, whatever. So the like the algorithm, you know, like it could get more people on that thing, so I could build up. So with that, I'd like to say, I'll praise due to Yahweh, Bashim Shai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful members of the elect. Shalom.